I haven't seen any of these brands before, but
Yeah, they're emerging Chinese brands, but yeah,
probably
you might.
MG would.
Sorry, do you know the BYD?
No, I don't.
Just from like the cars I've seen, I like this one.
MG.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this one.
Have you seen Carreview? That's quite popular brand.
I think so.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sake. Heard of Cherry. The others, no, not really, no. But I've noticed the Havals around.
Yeah.
People have got them, and they seem like a good car, good range.
Yeah, you've seen cabs being Carreview, yeah.
Yeah, but and people got some family cars, SUVs. I don't know all the models, but I've heard people have got them, they like them. They bought a second for the family, so I've never driven one, I've been in one, but yeah.
Maxus, they have pretty decent cars. They have some high quality engine builds.
Nice.
Like for example, like their pickups, they're really good.
Yeah, pickups, yeah.
Maxus really is on top. Maxus would be like when it comes to like off-roads and heavy duties.
Yeah, I've heard the MG.
MG?
Yep.
Lexus? Cherry?
Nah, only these two. I don't have a perception. I don't really know about them. GAC motor.
GAC motor?
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks like the best, I reckon.
I'll get that one. What's that?
That's BYD.
Oh, I've heard of MG.
MG. Lexus?
And that's probably it. I'm not a big car guy.
Because my friend, he actually like really loved, since he got the BYD, he loved that car, you know, so I think I go with the BYD.
I like their battery technology, the LFP batteries, and they're also like very affordable.
They're very sleek and clean, and I think he was saying that designed like Dragon or something. They've got like really cool, creative elements to them.
Maxus. I'm very familiar with this logo on the road in traffic. Well, I'd prefer Tesla.
Tesla?
Yeah, I'd say Tesla. Because I like Elon Musk.
Have you ever known this brand before?
Because I will get Tesla, right, and I'm a fan of Elon Musk. Right, so I'll read up on all his sort of stuff, and some of the stuff he actually brings up, Yoa.
I've never driven one or been in one, so I can't really make the decision. But yeah, I've heard good things about Havel though. So there's a dealership that way. Near the fucking hell. Yeah, near all the you know where the Porsches and all that on that street. There's one popped up there where the old Honda fucking place was.
Probably an MG for sure.
MG.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is like it costs you cheaper to drive, to go from one place to other. But the bad thing about the electric car is after a few years the battery is no good anymore. And even though if you replace the battery, it costs you a lot of money, which is like no good, you know. Chinese in China is world largest and biggest economic country.
Traditional fuel. I may go hybrid, definitely not a plug-in, would never. Don't mind the I travel the country a lot, and I've had a couple of hybrid hire cars, and they are good.
For my type, I like motor cars.
I don't like them.
Why? Why that?
I think they're useful if you live just in the country, but if you're doing metropolitan driving, they work out more efficient, and like yes, they're also cleaner, but then also just the total fuel like cost savings is astronomical.
I can't afford good electric cars right now. I'm a student, so I wouldn't think about it unless I'm successful or unless I've made some amount of good money. And at that point of time, I'm gonna get something that's like, I would preferably go with Tesla.
That's the evolution. If you can look at history, right, from the 1800s to 1900, that's 20 years. We were riding horses and carriages until Henry Ford came with the cars, the Model T. Then slowly it's gone on, cars have improved in the old fossil fuel, and I reckon the last 20 years, maybe even 30, then they were actually walking into hybrid cars and electrical cars. Like on the roof of the car, there's so much space. It's good to have the electrical pump, but we can actually convert the roof, has a solar panel embedded in there. The car can actually, with the sun, generate itself.
Well, I'm not too familiar with BYD is the thing, so I would probably say Tesla just because I know it more, and I could get a pink one. I'm sure BYD comes in pink as
no
well.
worries,
But
no. Alright, thank you very much.
yeah.
Probably BYD.
BYD. Is there any specific reason behind it?
Not really.
Not really?
I mean, I've heard of Tesla and I've got lots of mates that just complain about them, but that's about it.
Quality is everything, you know. If like China give me a good quality, we always look for quality, you know.
Well, Tesla definitely has the name recognition in the West, and but like if you're looking at, like they're both great cars, but if you're looking at the BYD, the Tesla for some of their cars uses BYD batteries, and then the BYD ends up like 10, 15 grand cheaper for pretty much the same technology. The Tesla has slightly more developed things like Sentry mode, your dog mode, but in terms of like just driving, like they're almost the same car.
The BYD's got more like smaller elements that I think are really cool. The Tesla's very simple though.
I'm not sure. I feel like there's just like a lot of the other bigger brands, they just like are so big that it's like a lot of people know about them, and like a lot of people talk about those ones mainly, and I feel like it's just like the amount of cars that have these brands, you know, if there was more cars then obviously people would see them more and perhaps be interested in it, or you know what I mean? Like I just feel like the majority of like cars that I see or whatever, just like they're just the basic brands.
Perception of cheapness, of quality. Before cars, there was a lot of things in machinery, skid steers, cranes that came in from overseas copies, Chinese copies of, say, Case and other brands, and they just weren't. They looked the same, but aren't the same. So that is the perception. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they fell apart when they tried to exchange them. They get no trade because no one wanted them after the fact. They have a short, limited lifespan, and then they were kind of done. Like I'm sure it's changed since, but that's I feel it's the perception, and there's some snobbery. Some people are snobby. You know, I'm not. If I find one that's great, I'll buy it. So there's some of that as well. A lot of people buy for the badge. They do. A lot of people that drive BMs and stuff, it's the badge. You know, it's like the people that drive the Mercedes four-wheel drive U. It's a Nissan Navara.
I'm driving Mercedes myself.
It's a Nissan Navara. It's just a Nissan with just a different body. And you tell them you've just paid for a badge.
Same chassis,
Same chassis, everything. It's that. Yeah, so I think that's what has a lot to do with it as well. Image, marketing image of. I wouldn't ever pick on a country of. It comes to performance. I do like German cars.
The after-sales service for these Chinese dealers?
I don't know any of it. I've never heard of any problems they've had. One of my perceptions is that generally they give a lot longer warranties.
How it would influence or how it would capture the consumer's attention. For me, it would range about $30,000 to $50,000, if I'm not mistaken.
So, which car do you think is the most, economic or most expensive among these brands?
For me, I think MG would be a bit expensive.
A bit too expensive.
For servicing, it's every 20,000 kilometers or every 12 months, and there's lots of really good after-sales service. Like they sort of treat it more like an Apple store than a car dealership. Like you can come in anytime, and there's a low pressure environment, and you're like even after you buy the car, you can come in and talk about, oh, how do you change this and this on the car, and the staff will help you with all your questions.
America's America, right? And they all focus on American style. There's the one thing I feel sad about the Western society is some of them are narrow-minded. Take the blinkers off, they can see the whole world, you know, and see exactly what's going on. If you guys can actually organise and market the Asian cars, saying this is what we got, and we're in competition with Elon Musk, but we're on the same path. A lot of people, they're narrow-minded, they say China and they think communist. No, you wipe that out. And a lot of people put in politics, religion in, and that doesn't go.